How you doing? It's time to start with the second part of the skin. We are going to treat it in the satin way. No, it's not a metal, but it is a similar way to paint. How do we start? How do we need? Our base color will be our black copy base. Although they say that the black is not used, yes, it is used, or at least in copy bases. After black, we'll use a desaturated color to make it look like a marine color, a blue with gray. Why? Because if you use blue directly, will look like you are painting a blue, not a black color. The black color can be desaturated in some areas, but not in all. We need desaturated blue areas to highlight black. To get that black, we'll add gray to the mix. And to give it that marine and desaturated color, we'll use blue. Look at the color I'm using in the palette. Now that we have the color, we're going to build the volumes. It is the first step that we have to do. Draw the volumes of the sculpture. For now, drawing those volumes. And the light. Now we don't look for it. Don't focus on it. Right now, we are not interested on it. We'll do it more ahead. When we are creating the volumes, we are removing all the black of the figure, more or less covering a 90% of the miniature. Remember that black is our first shadow. Leave it visible in areas where you want. Later, we'll go deep in that black. Oh well, okay, I'll see you later. Don't worry and enjoy painting. How to make a black, more black, it's a trick I'll show you later. It's very important that you practice the copy bases. Although at beginnings may seem difficult, but it's a simple method. If you continue with glazes, you will take a long time to reach these points or getting this color saturation. The contrast with glazes is not obvious. It will be if you give more layers. But in my opinion, it's a waste of your time. Better copy bases. Don't worry about anything, just enjoy painting and enjoy with the process. Practice it. As we did in the previous video, you need to link the muscles. Look now how I link it, the shoulders with the triceps. I've seen it many times and always I think, why they do that? Maybe it was done before, but it's very ugly. The anatomy is natural. Can you imagine your shoulders separate from your body? It would be very strange. If it is separate, remains as an armor. You always have to unite to look like a body. As you can see, many parts of skin spots has removed it. Nothing happens. It's not an error. Remember, don't make mistakes with copy bases. I remove them so that is easier to work on the area. If you want a guide, I advise you to take a picture. That way you will know the exact place. No one have the elephant memory. A photo is easier to keep them. Then later on, you can see the picture and see where the spots on the skin on. And ready, don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is also something I see often, the fear. You don't be afraid to experiment. Drawing freehands, textures, spots. You can draw it and if you don't like it, remove it again. The experiments, it's another thing that I like most on the painting. And yes, you can learn a lot from the people say mistakes. It's a real experience. As always, we'll finish with the airbrush for the final touches. Don't worry if this sketch is dirty or not completely finished. You can paint them and then adjust with the airbrush. Not everything has to be neat. The most important is the volumes. Use the brush, it's the best. And if it breaks down, go to a store and buy more. Not everything has to be airbrush. Remember that. Take a look. I use the brush more longer than the airbrush. Why? It's more comfortable, fun, and for me, the fastest way to move forward the miniature. Let's move on to make the skin satin. How? Where? In the head. It's the main area, the one that the most attracts our attention. For that, we are going to draw white lines to reduce the light. Don't do all the same lights, will be strange. The volume is volume, not lines. I've seen how you paint 18 layers, put on the shadow, and then everything's light up. You have to give intermediate tones. Our eyes will unify it. If it can be done with 3 layers, why we need 18? If you continue painting with a lot of glazes or layers, it's more difficult and you won't advance. The effect is going to be the most important thing in the figure, but always respecting the sculpture. Can we skip the sculpture? Yes, sure, but I recommend that in the initial stage, don't do it. You can make certain mistakes that later you can solve. If you don't like something, paint a black layer and start from zero. The most important thing is enjoy, it's your hobby. Remember, don't forget that part. Little by little, I'll explain more content, but always in a simple way, so everyone can understand it. It doesn't matter if you have the highest level or you have started right now. Copy bases are understood for all levels. They are easy and fast. To create the effects, you can use the texture. Not all the leathers have texture. Did you know it? They may or not may have texture. Everything is not invented. Paint as you wish. I will always tell you that the most important thing is enjoy with the painting. We are going to move the lights where we are interested. In the head, we don't want too much black to get the satin contrast, so you have to eliminate. Remember that whenever we work with black, it will be with the saturated colors. They always have a little color, but never white directly. It doesn't matter if it's green, red, blue, yellow. The most important thing is the color. Can you imagine a miniature without colors? How fun is to mix with colors? I think my way to paint is that, the color. And I think that you can judge the result yourself. Is the color right or not? When the miniature looks good, the light doesn't matter. Even in a competition, the miniature will look good under the lamps. If in the lights looks pure, it's because you still lack much contrast. Remember that if you only see in your lamps, it won't be seams in other places, as in showcase, contest. Notice that you use the elbows to give more texture. Then I'll add more texture with dots and lines. Thus, the most expressive figure is made. And don't forget the hands. They are very important as the head. Also, the shark is not very expressive, but maybe when he's opened his mouth to eat you. And the octopus. The octopus rocks a lot. You have to paint it with great care and make it fun. I hope you liked the black part of the miniature. I think that is very simple and you will get great results. It's very visual to understand where the effect is done and where I painted the lights and the shadows and how reflections are created. I hope you enjoyed a lot this video, and for the next you'll see the airbrush. We will use it to adjust the skin. Remember, that part will be the trick. Don't be scared. Seriously, more than one is scared. In the next video you'll see how both parts of the skins are a puzzle. And the piece will fit very well. See you soon!